Alakaram vyaptam yena characharam tatpadam darshitam yena tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Ajnanaatimirandasya jnananjanam shalakaya chakshurumilitam yena tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Jai Jagadish Hare. This session is only an introductory kind of parichay, knowing each other. Nothing very serious is going to happen, but listen carefully. In between, there may be something which, if you don't catch, आगे वाला फिर अच्छा ठीक से नहीं चलेगा. The problem is, daily satsang में the numbers are going on increasing. I don't know how to convey what we have to convey to too many people. I don't know if you know this, there was a time when people used to come and ask for Kriya to me. I used to tell them, chalo, first Guru Mantra le lo, first you take your Guru Mantra, and then we'll see afterwards. So when will you give us the Guru Mantra? Come to Marnapalli after 6 months. Aisi halat. Right? And then after 6 months they would come and I would say, no, not ready, we'll do it afterwards. Finally Guru Mantra. Now aaj to sab bana banaya hai. You come, take Kriya and go home. And then after that, Guru Mantra, another 6 months, 7 months, 1 year before Kriya is given. And Kriya is given in a small room. Nobody is around. ये mass Kriya धीरे धीरे बढ़ गया, आ गया. I couldn't help it. What can I do? I'm not interested, seriously. But it happened. And it happened because I wrote the autobiography. I should not have written the autobiography. But I wrote the autobiography because Babaji insisted that I should. Maheshwarnath Babaji said, लिखना ही पड़ेगा. तो लिख दिया. So from then the circus started. And the circus is continuing. क्या कर सकता हूँ? चल रहा है. I'm 100% sure that most people who take Kriya practice only on that day. Not most, some. And then they come back again for the next Kriya retreat. Practice for 2 days, then go back home, all forgotten. And then they go around. Now the latest is, then they say, I will do the Kala Bhairav mantra. Not knowing what Kala Bhairav is. And then when they get into trouble, they send me emails every day. ऐसा हो गया. Or somebody, I want to do pradakshana around the mountain somewhere. Where is Kriya gone? Kriya is gone. So, the funny thing is, then after all that, there is one set of people. The moment I get out of a car or an aircraft, the one question is, please can you give me Sri Vidya? Now this is a joke. Is that, if you want that kind of Sri Vidya, you can take it in the internet. It's only $5,000. It's not a joke. Then they start writing me emails saying this thing happened, that thing happened. How long have you not done Kriya? Over 2 years. When I took, I was doing. Then I did this, then I did that. Then I usually tell them, do that, don't do this, stop. No. I'm supposed to be the personal psychiatrist of lots of people, unpaid. Yesterday I got off from the bus and somebody looked at me and I'm feeling very uncomfortable. Sometimes I say, go to a psychiatrist, please, this is not my job. भी चलता रहता, goes on. So, how many people are here who are taking Kriya for the first time? Quite a large number of people. Okay. I'm happy because next time when you come, I can tell you, you took Kriya and practiced only on that day. Remember? Okay. So we are in, this retreat is being conducted in Puri, Jagannath. We are in the land of Lord of the universe, Jagannath. Look at the eyes. Can ordinary eyes see the whole world? No. Much before Picasso. This was the first experiment in abstract art, hundreds of years ago, to show that Jagannath sees everything. There's nothing that he misses. And that Jagannath is the Supreme Being who is worshipped in the temple, fortunately for us, also sits in our heart. This is where we need to go. Temple we can go, that's okay. Go to, if you don't go this way, you go to Srimadwara or you get into the VIP enclave or whatever. But this temple inside of Jagannath, ये जगन्नाथ पुरी, पुरी का मतलब क्या है? The place, the city. Manipura, Tripura Sundari, Pura, Puri. So, this is the land of Jagannath. And great people have lived here. Have come and settled down. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after in some years from Mayapur, he came and settled down here in Puri. There is still a place, if you go, please go and see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Baitak. Then, the great teacher, Vedantic teacher, the last guru of Thakur, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Totapuri, lived here in the hills for a long time. They say there's still a tiger skin out there. So it's a blessed place, and when you come to a blessed place, do good things. Try to become spiritual, try to advance in your spiritual practice. Having said that, I need to say a couple of more things. Please do not write an email every day to me, please. I'm tired. You see, in so many years I've aged because I'm tired of only the emails, nothing else. My son has gotten a promotion, please help him. My husband has gone to Dubai, please. So there are sheikhs there to help you. What am I supposed to do from here? Hardly any spiritual questions. Can I do my Kriya better? No. I know many people come for Kriya thinking that in the middle of that, when we catch somewhere, we can tell him why we should get a promotion. And if it works, by any chance, my doom, because again next promotion. Kriya is not meant for any of this. I'm making it very clear. It's not for walking on water or flying in the air, though Ashtasiddhis are described in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. We will deal with that tomorrow. It is Kriya. The word Kriya simply means a technique. And please, I know some people have read somewhere that it is a jet plane technique. There is no jet plane technique. There is no shortcut. Of course, there is a shortcut. The most difficult cut is to cut the ego into two. Very difficult. Even though it looks like a shortcut. So, hard work, practice, following the yama niyamas, finding why you are doing Kriya, what is the need. All these are important factors in the practice of Kriya. Also, the other thing I want to tell you, I've been trying to say this, don't get caught up with the teacher who is sitting here. Don't keep staring into my face and then trying to see me in a dream and things like that. We need to get out of all this. Read Swami Vivekananda if you have no other thing to read. And do not fall in love with a person here. Not only meant for ladies, men also. Do not, but this figure here will also disappear after some time. What we require is to fall in love with the eternal being and to listen to the teachings and try to practice, not simply such. It doesn't work that way. Am I being too brutal? Don't you think it's good to see the reality? How does one reach the supreme reality according to Shankara, for instance, Advaita Vedanta? By saying that the Supreme Brahman is not this, not this, not this, not, including the teacher. The teachings are more important than the teacher. What if I was born in a terrible looking body? Would you still be attracted? No. Due to some fortunate circumstances, I don't know why, I have a phase where suddenly, even traveling alone, somebody comes and plops down near me and starts telling, sir, hey, who are you? I don't know, but my fate. So, having heard all that, if you're still interested in Kriya, we can start from tomorrow the practice of Kriya. Plus, I'm not interested in spreading stories about my miraculous things. No. That distracts from the path. There are some people, I have a person who is known to me for many years, always trying to say some mysterious things about me. That doesn't add to anybody's spiritual stature. Okay, having said this, what is the meaning of Kriya? Kriya means a technique. Kriya karam means technique, act. And what is this technique? Let me make it clear. No technique can find the truth. How can technique find the truth? Because then it becomes a mechanical thing, right? Yes, but the technique can help you to bring your mind to a certain stage from where it becomes the tarmac for taking off into the higher realms of spirituality. That's all. That is important, I agree. So Kriya is one of the techniques. And where do we hear the word Kriya for the first time? Where do we hear Kriya for the first time? The exact word Kriya, no. The Bhagavad Gita, yes. A very short synopsis of the practice of Kriya without mentioning Kriya has been given in the 6th chapter called Abhyasa Yoga, Dhyana Yoga. Yes. Where posture is described, spine is described, prana is described, bhrumadhya is described, everything, but not specifically the word Kriya is used anywhere. If you go back to the ancient most sources like the Upanishads, there are 20 yoga Upanishads, where all the techniques of yoga that you hear today in all parts of the world, the roots are there, including Hamsa. There is an Upanishad called Hamsa Upanishad. Very ancient. Why? Because they come from the Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvana, the ancient way, especially from Krishna Yajurveda. Ancient as it can go, but no word Kriya is mentioned. Then, Yajnavalkya Yoga, ancient, the word Kriya is not mentioned. Then you come to the Yoga Darshana. The Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, where Kriya as a word is mentioned for the first time. Because in the Sadhana Pada, which is the chapter dealing with the practice, Patanjali starts like this: Tapas Swadhyaya Ishara Pranidhanat Kriya Yoga. First time. Explicitly. He says, Tapas Swadhyaya Ishara Pranidhana. All these included is called Kriya Yoga. But please remember that before the Sadhana Pada, there is an entire first chapter called Samadhi Pada. In Samadhi Pada, the reasons why we are doing the Kriya, the sadhana is explained, and the different states of consciousness called Samadhi are explained. And since Kriya appears as the first sentence of the Sadhana Pada of Patanjali, the foremost exponent and founder of the Yoga Darshana in the Yoga Sutras, therefore, Kriya forms part of Astanga Yoga. Because the yoga described by Patanjali is sometimes known as Astanga Yoga, although nowhere does Patanjali use the term Astanga Yoga, but there are 8 angas, therefore Astanga. He says Kriya Yoga, and therefore Kriya Yoga is Astanga. And what are the 8 parts? So therefore, if Kriya is Astanga Yoga, all the angas that apply to Patanjali's Yoga Darshana apply to Kriya. So what are they? Why are they called Ashtangas, 8 branches, 8 parts? Because they consist of Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi. 8 angas. Well, I personally like to say Saptangas, 7 angas, because the 8th is a culmination, it's not an anga, Samadhi. This is what we are going to learn. So, therefore tomorrow, maybe half the session, we will do the Samadhi Pada, which means where are we going? I am following Patanjali's Krama, order. Order meaning, order, not ordered by Patanjali, but the order. So don't get impatient. And then we will start Kriya slowly. And you know, all people who have attended my Kriya say we have to practice, not just theory, and then move forward. And if you practice Kriya, sincerity, with full sincerity, and if you find that now this is fine, you don't have to come for another Kriya session. It's over, finished. And when I see people who have taken Kriya from me several times come for Kriya, I think it's basically for review, right? Review. You may not be flying in the air, but something is happening, right? Something is happening. Okay. Now, so we have to go to the first chapter, which is where we are going, and the second, which is sadhana, where we will do the practice of Kriya. We will try and skip the Vibhuti Pada, the chapter on Vibhutis. You know what are Vibhutis? Vibhutis are extraordinary capacities that may occur to the um, diligent, sincere practitioner of Kriya. Also one who has started while quite young itself. When the fuel is ready, always you go with fuel in hand. When the fuel is exhausted, what will be? So, so we will try and skip because it's a very dangerous, this Vibhuti Pada. You can read because people get caught up in them. I know many cases of people who have gone nicely till they came to the Vibhuti section. Vibhuti doesn't mean ashes. Vibhuti means special abilities. Well, of course, you will find that your memory becomes sharper. You read a few first pages of a book and you know what's at the end and so on. But don't make it a clinical practice. You know what I mean? Healing. Especially today now, there is Reiki, there is Piki, there is Kiki, I don't know what all there is. So, you do Kriya and then I can do this, that. And what happens if you don't heal? Then nobody will ask you because, see, the danger is the patient will think it is or she is being healed. Till the final stage when they have to be taken to the ICU, when nothing will work. So are you not deluding people in a way? Think about all this carefully. We want to be truthful, transparent, clear and sincere. But if you read the Vibhuti Pada, there will be many things that the yogi becomes light, he becomes heavy, he becomes small, he becomes big. Don't get too caught up in that. It's like I'm going to Banaras or I'm coming to Puri by train. On the way I stop at a station. There's a nice store there selling lovely things. I get down from the train and I'm looking and the train is gone to Puri. Why? I'm holding these khilonas in my hand. They are not the main thing why we are doing sadhana. So, we will, then the last is Kaivalya Pada, the ultimate result, or the stage where the yogi realizes that there is only one Purusha that exists. When I say Purusha, it doesn't mean man, okay, male. It means the ultimate supreme Brahman in Sankhya is called Purusha. This is the aim. So what happens? There is no sorrow after that. Yeah, there may be sorrow, like in the worldly, if somebody hits you in the hand, you may feel pain and say, that is different. But there is no sorrow. See, this is interesting. Have you heard of any child being born on this earth laughing? I don't think so. There's always crying, comes out crying. And most of us go back crying. Is it possible that you cannot change, coming out crying? Is it possible to change the last, where I can go back with a smile on my face and ready to go back at any time with a smile on my face, saying, here I come. It said that while they were going up the Badri mountains, who is the elder brother of the Pandavas? Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira, they came to receive him, to take him to the higher levels. He said, I'm not coming. Can you imagine such a person who can say, wait, I'm not coming, I have to take my dog with me. The dog lovers will be thrilled. Because every morning the dog takes you for a walk, right? You don't. Do you take the dog or the dog takes you? So, that capacity to be ready for that event, which can happen to anybody at any time. I'm not painting a bleak picture of life. Fact, any time is the aim of a yogi. If that comes, he says, nice, wonderful, come. And if life continues, come, continue. Nice. Why? Because both he lives in blissful enjoyment, he or she. And in this world, do not expect to live without any sorrow or pain. Not possible. Everybody has something or the other. Here, in the cave of your heart, if you have touched the reality, whatever happens outside, inside is different. So we are going to find that treasure, to which we all have equal rights. Nobody has more rights and less rights to reach that treasure. Everybody has, except that it is guarded by the serpent. So we will deal with that when it comes. Who is this serpent and where is it guarded? And so on and so forth. So this is what we are going to do in the next few days. Now, if I go a little, what I'm going to do also is go back sometimes to the ancient sources like the Upanishads. And then we will discuss it and figure out how to move. Now, the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali himself starts by saying, after saying Atha Yoga Anushasana, here begins the study of yoga. He begins by saying, Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Tomorrow also we are going to look into the meaning of Chitta, Vritti and Nirodha. How to do that. So this is what we are going to do. This is just, I said, let me be familiar. Of course, I see familiar faces. Some familiar faces which used to come years ago have now become little chubby, put on weight and so on. Yeah, it's all right, expected. Even I have put on weight. Yesterday I was trying my belt, it's not going. You know why? Because of the kindness and supreme devotion of the devotees. They feed. If you say, I don't want to eat, they may think, oh, something is wrong. That's why. So you eat, and then the result. Do you see my tummy? Not much, right? That is because of yoga asanas in the morning. So we will go through this whole thing, and please don't look so glum. You have no reason to look glum when we are going to walk into the portals of bliss. Why should we look glum? The supreme reality is defined as Sat Chit Ananda. That means Sat Chit Ananda. That's what we are going to figure out, and it's nowhere to look for but in your heart. So, Sat meaning that which is real, as opposed to what we think is real. We think this is real, this. Is there some reality? Maybe we are misunderstanding this. Maybe there is something which is truly real. Because if it is real, it has to be there forever. Nothing is there forever, everything goes off. So is there something? If it doesn't go off, we go off. Same thing. Is there something that is real? Sat. And that is what we are looking for. And what is the nature of that Sat? The ancient texts and those yogis who have gone through it say that the essence of that reality, Sat, is by its very nature conscious. It's not a padartha, it's not an unconscious thing. Well, when I say unconscious, I mean in the limited sense of the term. Even this is conscious in some way. It doesn't have a brain. The electrons set themselves off when they want. We have no control over that. There is an innate intelligence in it. Look at a tree. You don't find the brain in a tree anywhere. But every cell has its own little brain. Because where there is no water, there's roots grow and go towards water. It's innate intelligence. It's consciousness. So the tree is also conscious. When there is no sunlight, the branches go towards the sun. Right? Yes or no? But you don't find a brain as such. It still is intelligent and conscious. So, the Sat is conscious. It is Chit. And what is its quality? How do we recognize it? It is Paramananda, Chit Ananda, Sat Chit Ananda. It means Anantam Anandam Brahma, that Ananda that never ends. But then to know bliss and to know happiness, unless you have pain, you cannot recognize it. There is no contrast. Which is why the first chapter of the Gita is called Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Yoga of Arjuna's confusion, pain, despair. It's only when we come there, then one begins to wonder, is there something more? Or is this all there is to life? Till then everything is hunky-dory. Nice. I'm not saying that because you are going to practice Kriya, some big Sangath is going to come for you. This is not what I'm. All I'm saying is Sadhu Sangath, not Sangath, Sangath is very essential to move forward in the spiritual path. It's only when difficulties come that people will start praying. Otherwise, you light an agarbatti and go to office, fine. But when there is trouble, oh God, please save me. Dukh mein sumiran sab kare, sukh mein kare na koi. Pain, one calls on God. Happy, okay, theek hai. Langar lagao, chalo, ho gaya, काम. So think about all this, especially people who come from greatly materialistic societies like Dubai and all that. Please think, Kriya is not for making money. Kriya is for bringing about a transformation in your heart. To change you and to make you look at the world in a different way. To see that there is joyfulness in every heart, from the small to the big, and that when you touch it, you have solved the problems. That's it. Now, having said that, that doesn't mean that if you practice spiritual practice, not only this Kriya, any Kriya, it doesn't mean you have to change your robes. Oh, this was handy, so I just put it on. No. You don't have to change your robes. You don't have to change your hairstyle. I didn't shave for a few days, so I have a beard, otherwise it's okay. I'm not saying you should not have a beard, sorry. That's also fine. No outward expression is required. You don't have to walk around with 100 rudrakshas in your neck. It's inside that matters. Okay. Now it is 5:30. I want to tell you something which is related to a question which everybody asks. And this is, I mentioned it before. Everybody, not everybody, many people, they come and they walk with you slowly, then they give you a flower. And they say, "Sir, can you initiate me into Sri Vidya?" And let me tell you this. Of course, Sri Vidya is a very important practice. I agree with that. But do you think it can be given like that? Like distributing laddus? And do we need Sri Vidya only to reach your moksha? No. I'm saying this, I have gone through all this, so I'm saying this to you. Especially people do Sri Vidya generally nowadays, put stress on Lakshmi. When somebody says if you do Sri Vidya, you become rich, so Lakshmi is one of the devatas. Agreed. Vijakshara Shri and so on. But so I have an advice for you. Those who fall into all these Sri Vidya traps, shortcut Sri Vidyas, so on. Do you know that the Sringeri Matha gives Sri Vidya, but does not give to everybody? So Sri Vidya simply means a set of Bijaksharas called Panchadashakshari and Shodasakshari, if you add one more. But before one begins to do all that, please do your homework. I'm suggesting, I'm not saying you should come to me after reading this and say, give me Sri Vidya. No. The homework is first read something called Parashurama Kalpa Sutra. Please, don't go and take from some Tom, Dick and Harry. Parashurama Kalpa Sutra. Then Bhavano Upanishad. And Bhaskararaya's Varivashya Rahasya. Without doing your homework in all these three, simply by taking Panchadashakshari, nothing is going on. To do your homework. In fact, we also practice Tantra, but it is Yoga Tantra, not the Tantra Tantra. So, please do your homework. Now, since we are on the subject, I want to tell you something which you may not have heard before. If anybody has heard this before, you must put up your hand. Maybe from me, but from others if you have. The Varivashya Rahasya is basically a commentary on the Saundarya Lahari by Bhaskaraya. Each sloka of the Saundarya Lahari has been taken up, interpreted, explained, and the Panchadashakshari Bijaksharas have been discovered in each sloka and put forward. Now, so Bhaskaraya was one who was totally immersed in the consciousness of the Supreme Tripura Sundari. Now Brahman can be, according to Tantra, also called Shakti, Tripura Sundari, Rajarajeshwari, Shiva Shaktya Yukto. This is the first sloka of Saundarya Lahari. Shiva Shakti. You can either say Brahman or you can say, according to the learned rishis, Shakti or some other, or Tripura Sundari. So he was eternally immersed in that consciousness. Who? Bhaskaraya, who wrote the Varivashya. So there was none, he was not there anymore, there was only that. So one day, it seems, when he came out of his house, just outside the door, a Dandi Swami from the nearby Shankara Mutt, Orthodox Mutt, was passing through. Dandi. You know, Dandi Swamis are people who carry dandas, actually a symbol of the spinal cord. Now, he was just coming out from the door, so he was passing, so he just did this. Who? Sannyasins, whether they know or they don't know, they're wearing a robe, so they have to be respected. He did this and went inside. Now this Dandi Swami's ego was such. He went back to the mutt and told the people, hey, this Bhaskaraya, I don't know who he thinks he is. He saw me at the door of his gate. Instead of doing Astanga pranam, And prostrating, he just did this and went off inside. What is this? Can somebody go and ask him? Somebody came and reported it to Bhaskaraya. Bhaskaraya said, okay, you please tell him that I am coming to the mutt to do what he wants me to do. I am coming. So he came. Didn't enter, he stood outside, and the Dandi Swami came out with his kamandal. He told the Swami, I want to do Astanga pranams to you because I heard that you come in, but first, can I do Astanga pranams to your kamandal? So he said, okay. He put his kamandalu there. Bhaskaraya did Ashtanga pranams to the kamandalu. The kamandalu burst into pieces, many pieces. Then he asked him, should I do pranams to you? Because there was no Bhaskaraya, there was only the Sundari, the energy, the Shakti. So he quickly took his Dandi and stepped inside. Because nobody wants to be blown to bits, right? So I'm telling you about the author of Parivasya. You may not have heard, I'm sure. Have you? Anybody? Maybe in one satsang mind, maybe. In Penang, in Malaysia, they wanted to do Tripura Rahasya. I told them, look here, it's a very advanced Vedantic text. Do not, we should do it. They caught my feet. I said, okay. For 4 days we did the Tripura Rahasya. The end of it, nobody got moksha, everybody went home. There are some things we can do and something we cannot do. You have to accept that. Huh? So there we are. So all of you new people who have come for Kriya, still after hearing all this, you still want to take Kriya? Will you come in to practice daily? Yes, no? Somebody got up and went off. You cannot practice daily. It's okay. Please practice regularly. Even if you want to go and meet Kala Bhairav, it doesn't matter. Please practice Kriya daily, because without Nairantarya Abhyasa, regular practice, one cannot touch the reality. Now tomorrow I will explain to you why Kriya, which consists of mostly pranayam and the Shushumna Nadi, can lead you to that which is beyond any definitions. How can a practice lead you to something which is beyond definitions? That we'll discuss in the morning tomorrow. Why do we do Kriya? Is breathing going to help to reach that which is beyond all breath? These are the things we will discuss tomorrow. Please commit yourself to regular practice. I will not let you move each step without practice. Every step we have to practice and move forward. So that by the end of 2 days, you would have, for the time being, become an expert in Kriya. Is that clear? We can close this session. You have any programs? Oh, you have meditate. Let's meditate. Earlier the better. So, as we do in this session, you and I are going to chant Om audibly 3 times. Please also lay stress on the ma. Don't just make and leave it there. So, Maheshwara Ma. So, we are going to chant, you and I, and then meditate silently for a while, and when I think it's enough, I will clap my hands and say Hari Om Tat Sat. So shall we start? Right. So please stress a little bit at the end on the ma. Start. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Shanti Shanti.